Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is me, Master 5, back with another video. Before I get started, I need you to give me the HBO special. Let's have a brother out special by hitting that like, comment, subscribe, and share if you like the content. Shout out to the Poor Man's Podcast. I'm currently at Hines Park. Got to find like innovative ways to move around because, as you can see, I got drinks in here and whatnot because I'm miles away from my vehicle. So I got to figure out convenient ways to carry extra items with me. So found this thing that I strap on. Got my drinks, my tripod, my extra phone, stuff like that. So anyway, it's a nice change of environment so far. I'm going over here into this like trail that's like a wooded area. Definitely different. If you're claustrophobic, you probably definitely wouldn't want to go in it because you're surrounded by trees on the front, the back, on the top of you for the most part. As you can see, that's why I say it's different. So I'm about to walk through here a little bit. Ain't gonna go too far. You know, just try to talk to you guys or whatever. And I'm just wondering, because I was on Facebook. I'm gonna put a lot of this thread up, the conversation on how it went, but it was a chick on there, 37 years old, about to be 38. She made this post. I ain't gonna think of it verbatim, but it was something about, I'm 37, divorced, single, I'm ready to find some new friends and turn up and all this type of crap or whatever. So, and I'm just wondering, at what age do we expect people to grow up and mature? At what age do we stop expecting people to move so immaturely and use certain terms? Because it's like, turn up. I'm about to be 38. What about turning the damn lights off and figuring out why you got divorced or whatever the case may be? So we went back and forth. I made the comment and stuff like that. Like I said, I'm gonna put the entire conversation up. But the reason why she divorced and all that, as you can see in the conversation, we can clearly tell why no man wants to be around her.
Get it.
We can clearly tell that this woman has a huge lack of maturity. And honestly, we can tell she's just straight up ratchet just by looking at the comments and the things I'll show you. Because you saw it. I'm just wondering, like, when do we start holding people as adults and, you know, to a certain standard? Because, and I'm talking about men and women, not just this hood rat, whatever, who claims she was from Detroit and all that. But when do we start holding people as adults and stop, you know, I guess, enabling immaturity and enabling ratchet behavior? Like, you know, you got people like, you got people like Whack 100, damn, they're 50 years old, talking about on Pyru every video.
I'm always gonna consider myself, nigga, who I am. You feel me? Because I've been this for so long. Been doing this for so long.
You been what?
A Pyru. You feel me? And
you not living by the ways of Pyru.
You feel me? Because I got up on the stand to try to help a nigga.
That ain't Pyru.
All right, my nigga.
That ain't P-Funk, homie.
No, you right. You right.
It's not.
But I will say this though.
The dude's supposed to be a street guy, don't supposed to be a snitch, and somehow he has information about everybody. You always on podcasts talking about everybody, but you're a Pyru and you don't supposed to be a snitch, yet you seem to be 100% snitch. I'm just trying to figure out, when do we start holding people to a certain standard when they're past a certain age? We got 50-year-old Snoop still claiming Crip. That's one thing I do not get. How do we got a 50-year-old rapper claiming Crip and we supposed to respect this motherfucker? I don't respect Snoop Dogg. You claiming Crip at 50? Gangs ain't never did nothing positive for the community and you want to rep it? I don't like that at all, dude. So any of you so-called 50-plus-year-old rappers and all that, claiming gang culture and all that. Just look at what the gangs done did to the community. There's nothing positive about a gang, period. So that's how I feel about so many of these influencers in the world, older, grown individuals claiming gang culture. We got people claiming whore culture. It's just, where's the standard? Where do we start implementing a certain standard on people who's supposed to be positive influence or influencers in general? If you have the ability to influence, you should be working on going in a positive direction, especially for the black community. We're already at the bottom of the barrel. So I'm sick of it. We got Nicki Minaj, Meg Thee Stallion, Sexy Red, Cardi B, all the most ratchet of the ratchets. And they have the ability to influence. Now, some of them been in the game for a while, some of them are newcomers or whatever, but in the end, a lot of these people have platforms and they have a responsibility to honestly influence in a more positive direction, and yet they use their powers for bad. They influence in a negative direction. They choose crappy men. They support trash everything when you think about it. So that's how I'm looking at it. When do we supposed to hold people's feet to the fire? When they reach a certain age. What, do we supposed to wait for people to get to like 60, 75 years old before we start saying they grown and they wise? Because as far as what I thought when you get past, I say when you get up to the age of 13, it's when we supposed to start holding you to being a mature adult. To where you supposed to start seeing things in a different light. We supposed to start using your influence for good or whatever, or at least try to uplift, not for immaturity and negativity all the time. So when do that occur? Because it seems like in the black community now, the older we get and the more influence we seem to have in the world, we're actually regressing. We're actually taking steps backwards now. We're starting to influence everything negative, and it's just getting worse. So how do we get way more technology and then we start regressing to being way negative now? Well, how we start regressing versus moving forward? It's just it's all screwed up. It's as if ain't no as if bad is good and good is bad. Everything is in reverse now. So if I'm out here doing positivity, since people don't deem it as fun in their life, then there ain't nothing to talk about. It ain't good. But if it's about club hopping, fucking hoes, popping bottles, whoring, tricking, and all that type of stuff, then that's good. If it's about killing everybody, people shooting each other with guns, blacks killing blacks, gang culture and all that, then that's good. And that's why our community is where it's at now. Yeah, it's definitely different out here. But that's why our community is at where it's at now, because there seems to not be a standard. There seems to not be a certain age to where you reach a certain level of maturity. There seems to be no level of accountability to be enforced on people who are past a certain age, who should be a certain level of mature, who should be wise, who should be using their abilities and their influence for change. It just doesn't seem to be it for the most part. Majority of people in the black community, especially our so-called influencers, rappers, singers, and things of that nature, they're not using their influence for anything positive. No uplifting anything. It's always negative. It ain't gonna get no better. That's why I say I've lost all hope in humanity. I lost hope in the black community to ever do better, to be honest. Here's what it is. Oh wow, I reached the end of the little house on the prairie, the door of the explorer path I was just in, it was different. Now, wow, this is totally different. Let's spin around. Damn mosquitoes. And I ain't put no off on today. Yeah, so you can see definitely a totally different scene than when I'll be at Rouge Park. So I'm gonna go ahead and end it there. Just wanted to have a conversation with y'all because I just don't know, when do it end? When do we start holding our influencers or older elders accountable? This is me, Massify. Like, comment, subscribe, share. Y'all have a great day. Peace.